If you are looking for a couples camper that is a boondocker's dream, your search is over. My wife and I spent 6 months in Colorado last year in this little guy and never had to pay for a single night in a campground. You can see this is a satellite. See back there by the door, it is the Model 18DS. It has a 9-foot awning on it, and you might be wondering how in the world we managed to spend 6 weeks with no campgrounds. You can see that we actually have we have 1,200 watts of solar that we have installed on the roof. And along with having solar to actually capture energy from the sun, we have 800 amp hours of batteries. I'll show you more of that in there, but you can kind of see a little bit of the solar setup there, the charge controllers that make sure that the voltage is right. And then back there we have batteries, and we have a Victron 3000 watt inverter charger. In this storage area we do have some Reflectex to cover the windows if you need that to give you a little bit more insulation, and otherwise this is just a whole lot of storage in there, and you can see that we've got everything protected the way that it should be with fuses and breakers. But not only can we store a lot of energy from the sun, we've actually taken some pretty serious steps to reduce the energy usage. And if you noticed, whenever we were looking on top of the camper, you didn't see the big old huge air conditioner, and that's because we've actually installed a mini split. And the beauty of a mini split is that the energy usage, typically this doesn't ever go above about 400 watts of energy that it's using, and it is super quiet. So along with the storage up front, we have more storage in the back. We've got all of the electrical components that's needed. We have some things with the sewer. We are including a wheel lock. Basically this just goes around the wheel there and makes it so that it's that much more difficult to steal your camper. And this storage area is actually also accessible from inside the camper, and I'll show you that in a bit. This Starcraft does have a slide. You can see that it doesn't stick out very far, but it actually makes a nice difference on the usability once you get inside. And we have the typical connections here. You can do a non-pressurized fill. You've got cable TV input. That's actually for the propane furnace that it has. It has an 18,000 BTU propane furnace. For the hot water heater, it has an hot water heater. I've actually upgraded the thermostat so that it has an adjustable thermostat. So if you don't want to have the water quite as hot, so that you can save a little bit of propane or electricity, you can do that. For actual city water, we have the docking station back here, and you can see I've got some gloves in there. That's where you can plug in the city water, and it also has an exterior faucet that's both hot and cold water, and you can set the shower up on that, and so you can actually have an external shower if you want it. The sewer hose goes down in there, just like you would expect. And also on the outside, we do have some Bluetooth speakers, and you've got LED lights up there underneath the awning, and you've also got a bug light right here that can be used. You have an outside electrical outlet, and that works off of the inverter just perfectly. This really is it's an incredibly capable camper. That just, it doesn't need to be plugged in. It's just really that simple. You can plug it in if you need to, but you do not have to. As far as the awning goes, it is a powered awning, so there's just a little switch inside that we'll go into. The tires, they were put on before our 6,000 mile trip to Colorado. It does have a brand new spare that you can see it doesn't have any miles on it at all. We have the propane tank up front. We have a powered tongue jack, and then we'll even throw in the lock there for that, just to keep everything safe. We do have the regular 7-pin switch that is how you hook it up to the tow vehicle, and we actually have the power up here. And you can, if you know how these things work, that's actually a 220 plug, and I'll go into some details on that once we get inside. The camper is very aerodynamic. The GVRW on it, I think, is 3790, something like that. It does have additional storage space here on the tongue that you could put things into if you wanted to, and it does have fiberglass side, and it's mostly made out of aluminum. There is some wood framing in the front and the back, but it's got an awful lot of aluminum in it. The camper does have a ceramic coating that was just applied. We've got actually we have new brakes and new drums. See, there's no rust or anything in there, and we've also installed a keyless entry pad. All these numbers light up at night, so you can just press something and they all light up. This thing is just, it is awesome, and it's very, very convenient to have. And so that has replaced the normal lock. The normal lock is inside. That's available also. We do have tire covers, that just plastic covers that you can put on the tires if you're not using the camper. And we also have a cover that goes over the entire camper. It has a little opening for the door here, so you can still get in and out of the camper when the cover is on there. But that will also come with the camper. Now let's take a look inside. You can see that you've got this grab bar here for travel mode. You just put the grab bar in. You also have a step down here. For the step, you can push it back in for travel as well. And then we have the 4 stabilizer jacks on each corner. Those make it nice and solid for whenever you're inside, so that there's not a whole lot of shaking as you walk around. So now let's take a look inside. We can step up, and you can see that it's actually quite spacious. The windows, we have 2 windows on each side. They bring in a whole lot of illumination, and this is truly a couples camper. We actually made some modifications. This was a U-shaped dinette before that frankly was just kind of a pain to get in and out of. It had a folding table, and we'll actually include the folding table, but there's a much better solution that we will show you here in a bit. And so you can see that this is actually a sliding window that opens, and then we have the bed area up front. This is actually an emergency window. It's an escape window that you can get out of if you need to. And then on the other side we have a sliding window, and above that we actually have the mini split. You can see that we have it set on 76 degrees right now, and I am guessing that with the sun shining the way it is, if I were to look at the batteries would actually be at 100% at the moment. But let's go ahead and show you how that we can actually convert this into something that just works incredibly well for couples. And I will go ahead and do that process. And to do that, I'm going to set these aside temporarily. Set those on the ends just like that. And we actually have a table. It's really, the table is designed to be left up anytime that you're not actually putting the slide in and out. And the way that this works is just exactly like this. And so this table is designed so that if the slide were in, and we'll show you that later, it still gives you room to get by. You can still open the bathroom door and everything. But for actual use when the slide is out, slip that right there, and then you have this table. You can put a chair right here, you can put a chair right here, and then you can literally, oops, put that upside down. You can sit at the table, and we enjoyed many a meal in Colorado like this. You sit at the table right here, you have all your food stored right here, and you have a gorgeous view out the windows. And it is just, it's perfectly designed for couples. And This has just been a tremendous innovation. But like I said, we will include the folding table that came with the camper. And the one nice thing about the folding table is that you can actually take it outside if you want to eat outside, and you can do that as well. But this is designed so that even if the slide is all the way in, this table will not hit the wall. And so it's really just perfectly it's perfectly set up for this camper. But that's kind of how all of that works. Now, a few other features that I want to point out. We have a light here that you can turn off and on. We have a light up here over the bed that you can turn off and on. These other lights are all controlled by a switch back here. So if we turn this switch off, then the overhead lights turn off. And so that's set up like that. The two lights back here over the kitchen, they actually are controlled by switches so that you can actually point the light where you need to illuminate things. And right now you can see that it's illuminating the propane stove. The propane stove, we've actually added the sparking starters so that you don't have to get a match out to actually start those up each time. But that's the propane stove. As far as other things that we have here, right in this area, we have a couple of switches. These are for the outside lights. One of them's for the mosquito light, the bug light, and the other is for the LED lights that's underneath the awning. This is the powered awning control. If you watch the awning out there, you can see that it's nice and quiet, and that will roll in all the way. So that's the awning control. And I won't bother you with taking that the rest of the way in, but that's control for that. And this is the slide control. This is how you take the slide in and out. And if we want to take the slide in and out, the first thing that we need to do is we just need to remove that board. And we can just set this right here. And just for storage, I'm going to do that. And now we'll go ahead and bring the slide in. And you can see that when we had the U-shaped thing here, this is actually a pipe. We've just left it like that, but if you wanted to, you could cover it up easily enough. But this is the slide coming in. And we're putting it in travel mode. And there's a thing called the Cracker Barrel test. And the Cracker Barrel test is a test of whether or not the camper is usable when you're at a Cracker Barrel if you don't want to bring the slide out. And this camper is entirely usable. As you can see with the slide in all the way, you can get into the bathroom just fine. I'll talk about that in a bit. But even with the slide in, we still have use of the table. And so basically the table still works just wonderfully. And so you can be here working at the table, and you can have your meals here. The person that's sitting back here, if they need to get out front, they just do that right there, and they can walk.
Well, and we haven't always had to use the chairs. Sometimes we just kind of sit and
yeah, you can eat like this too if you want to.
Yeah,
it's designed for that.
In a pinch. Yeah.
But let me put that in there the way it's supposed to, so that it looks a little bit better. But yeah, so you can still open the bathroom door just fine. And now that we have the bathroom door open, well, on the outside of the bathroom door, you can see that there's a nice mirror here that you can use for making sure that you look perfect. And inside the bathroom, it does have the shower. It's got the toilet. The camper has a 25-gallon freshwater tank and a 24-gallon gray water and a 24-gallon black water. The only thing that goes into the black water is going to be the toilet, and the shower and the sink, they will all go into the gray. So it does have the shower. We've got hooks up here for towels. You can put a hand towel right there. We've got a little Velcro strap right in here where we keep the soap. And there are other hooks up here that we use for toilet paper and things like that.
And then there's the curtain, and the curtain just slides.
Yeah, the curtain for the shower just slides around. I've got it's attached behind that right now, but whenever you need to take the shower, you can do that right there. And this is another light that's just controlled by the switch. And so very, very, very convenient to have the bathroom there. As far as storage goes, we've got storage right here. If you care to, I don't know why you'd want to, but we have the old door lock right here. You can put that back in. There's more storage down here. This is actually the cover that goes on the outside of the van or the camper. We have a bunch of documentation down there, and we put a little trash can in there as well. As far as controls go, this is the control for the 18,000 BTU propane heater. You just flip that over and turn it on, and then you can set the temperature that you want down here. As far as these controls, you can turn the water pump on and off. You can turn the water heater onto electric or onto propane, and then you can check. You can see that it says that the battery is completely full right now, and then you can see the freshwater tank is 2/3 full, and so on. And so that's the way that all that works. We have more storage here that you can put clothes in or whatever you want. We do have the radio system here. It actually supports Bluetooth, and you can set it up to go to the speakers outside, so you can play your own tunes if you want to, and all of that is readily available. More storage. This is the remote control for the Bluetooth stereo, so you don't even have to come here and touch the buttons. More storage, and then down here we have the fuse panel for the entire trailer. So we have the AC side. These are the 110 volt, and then we have a bunch of the DC fuses here. This is kind of a neat one because if one of these fuses goes out, there's a little red light that lights up next to it, so that it's real easy to tell which fuse is not working. We got a tall storage bin right here that you can put whatever you want into.
We use that as a hamper.
Yeah, so we use it as a hamper, but whatever you want to use it for. And then back in the bedroom area, there is a ledge here that you can use as a nightstand, and we have the remote control for the air conditioner there. And so the air conditioner, you can change the way that it blows the air out. This also acts as a heater though, so it has a built-in heat pump. So if you don't want to run the propane furnace, you can use this, and you can actually have it create heat. Now if it's super cold out, you're going to want the propane furnace, but for the nights that are not as cold, that works perfectly, and all that is controlled from the remote. We have also taken our little home internet box with us so that we have internet in the camper, and when you do that, you can actually hook the air conditioner up to the internet, and you can control it from wherever you're at as long as the camper has internet. And so that's the way that all that works. Each one of the windows has a built-in blind that pulls down and provides privacy protection and some light protection. If you want more light protection though, you can use the Reflectex panels that I pointed out earlier in the outside storage compartment. Now, let's go to the kitchen. So for the kitchen, we have a three-way fridge. Three-way means it'll run off of 110 volt AC. It'll run off of 12 volt DC off the batteries, or it will run off of propane. We don't have it plugged in right now. We don't have it turned on right now, but we'll go ahead and take a look inside, and then if we do turn it on, it'll take it just a second, but you can see that it goes ahead and does its thing. And so this fridge though, you've got a nice sized freezer compartment. The freezer compartment is totally separate, so it's not one of the things, it's just a little aluminum container. It's actually well insulated, and there's a nice amount of space in there. And so that's the fridge. It has a convection microwave. With a convection microwave, you can actually bake chocolate chip cookies. You could bake a little cake in there. You can do a little pizza, whatever you want to do. And of course, it's also obviously the microwave. And so that's actually plugged in up here, which lets me point out that we have more storage up here. And so this actually goes all the way through. So there's a ton of storage up here that you can use for whatever you want, for towels or whatever. And we do have a fan. Sorry about that. We do have a fan that we've installed right here. And to be just to be completely transparent, whenever the air conditioner was here in the center, it was able to cool the back better. But with the air conditioner moved all the way to the front, we found that this fan helps in just making sure that the entire space is cool. Now, the air conditioner used to be right here. We have actually replaced the air conditioner with a Maxxair fan, and the Maxxair fan will sit here and it'll spin like fans do. But I've actually added a reversible switch so that right now it's spinning to blow air out. You can flip this switch, open up the lid here, and you can actually have it suck air in if you prefer to do so. And so that's the fan for that. Okay, back to the kitchen. Okay, now before we get back to the kitchen, we'll just go ahead and just so that you know the slide works in both directions. You basically just undo this, and I'm just going to put this back in there just for now. We'll take the table leg, set it there. And just put this out. There we got that. And then if we want to take the slide out, it's just a matter of pressing the button. And out it goes. And it really is transformative to have the slide out. You know, the camper is quite usable with the slide in, but with the slide out, the amount of space you have in here is just incredible. And having the table there so that you can have it flipped closed or open, it's a very nice amount of space on a camper that's only 20 feet and 8 inches long, and I think it's 7.5 feet wide. So it's a very small camper, as campers go. Now as far as the kitchen goes, we have storage right here. We use it for toiletries so that we have the toiletries right next to the sink. You can use it for whatever you want. They hold a fair amount of weight. They pooch out a little bit, but they hold a lot of weight. We have more storage right here that you can put additional things in, toiletries, spices, whatever you want. Nice size counter space right here. Counter space all the way around the propane cooktop. And we have storage here. We've got 3 drawers of storage here. And then this storage, the upper shelf is storage for strictly the kitchen, but the lower part I had talked about on the outside, this is the pass-through. So this is actually open up to the storage door on the outside as well.
And the drawers are full extension, which is really nice.
Yeah, drawers come.
This extra counter space has been really great for like a little ice maker machine that we had, and just all the things that you don't think about until you're actually in here.
We have more storage on the wall here. You can put fruit in here, you know, your bananas, your tomatoes, because tomatoes are fruit, whatever you want, Kleenex. And then down here, this is actually shoe storage that we've added. You pop that out and then you just set your shoes in there, and so that way you have shoes that are nice and conveniently available. One nice little touch is where the key storage is. We just have a magnet up there, so we just keep the keys right there. The front door does have the built-in screen, so you can choose to just open the door if you want to, and you can keep the screen closed so that you can have that open for airflow. We have the handy little broom storage there, and of course you have the requisite fire extinguisher. This is actually the control that's used to raise and lower the stabilizing jacks in the 4 corners. Now, one more thing that I want to show you that's kind of important for this being a boondocking capable camper, and that is the electrical setup. So the electrical setup is all stored down in here, and basically we have the 800 amp hours of battery. We have disconnect switches and a lot of other detail that I can go into whenever you're here and looking at the place. This is actually open to the front storage on the side, but this thing is capable of charging very, very quickly. You can actually plug the camper into a 50 amp service at an RV campground if you happen to go to a campground, or if you have a pickup like we have, which is the F-150 Power Boost. It actually has 220 volt 30 amp service in the truck bed, and you can actually plug this thing in and you can charge the batteries while you're going down the road. The bed is a queen size camper queen, and it actually has, this is not the default RV mattress, it actually has an 8-inch thick memory foam mattress that is just incredibly comfortable. And I think we slept on the original mattress one time and said this will not work. So we upgraded to this 8-inch memory foam, and it is just incredible. And so that is something that you'll obviously get to enjoy. There are various outlets all over the place, and it's just a very usable space. So you can basically plug it into 50 amp service, you can plug it into 30 amp service, you can plug it into a 110 outlet, and it will work off of any of them. And all of those various cables are in the corner closet right down there. So this is the Starcraft satellite 18DS. It is the most capable boondocking small camper that I've ever seen and that I could ever imagine. This thing is just it's made for off-grid living, and we look very forward to seeing what future adventures that the new owner takes it on.